Hi, I am Chandra. I'm founder of handsonlab.net. It is a platform where you can learn and practice hands-on lab for various tools and technologies like database lab, coding lab, artificial intelligence lab, and cloud lab like AWS and Azure Cloud. In this demo, I will show you how as a lab owner or instructor, you can create a lab, configure it, and invite students. So you go to our platform and log in as an instructor. Then you create a lab and configure it and share the invitation code with all the students. Students can then use that code to log in their account, and they will be given an isolated dedicated account which is not shared with any other students. They will get only pre-approved services that you allow, and they can only use those services. So to see how it works, let's go to this platform aws.handsonlab.net. You will log in with your credential and click sign in. The moment you click sign in, you will come to the dashboard where you will see all the labs you have created earlier. So you can see here there are various labs like AWS Cloud Practitioner Lab, which was created here, then terminated, and how many students have used those labs. You can also click on any particular lab and you can see all the lab details, like when it started, what was the lab invitation code, and how many accounts were used. If there is any existing account, then you can see that as well. And you can also click on lab stat and see the utilization of the lab. So you can see when the lab was running, when it was utilized, how much percentage it was utilized, and all other details. So let's go and create a lab. So you can simply click on create lab, and you can fill all the details. Like in this case, I'm creating it for solution architects. This is the date when the lab should start and the time, and how many accounts are going to use this lab. Then you will click on create. The moment you click create, you will see that this lab has been created and it is in waiting state. Then you can see all the details and you can click on the action and click start. The moment you start the lab, it will get started, and you can see this lab is showing in the starting phase. Now you can share this invitation code with all the students. So let's go and log in as a student. So in this case, you will provide, students will create their account, they'll provide their credential and log in. Once they log in, they have to provide their lab invitation code, which is this, and I can click as a student in the lab. And you can see the lab has been assigned. I can click open AWS console. The moment I click open, it will show me some guidelines like this account cannot be shared, cannot be used for any other purpose. And you can click on this and get the CLI credential, as well as a student, you can click on this and open the AWS console. This is dedicated AWS console for that particular restaurant, and they can actually go and utilize any of the services. For example, this is EC2 service, this is S3 bucket. They can click on this and they can provide the details and they can create anything that they want. Now, if let's say a student get any issues, you can go in the lab, you can simply click on this and you can see this student is logged in. Now, if you want, you can log in the lab and actually go inside the account to help the student. You will see actually the same thing that a student has done. So this will make the debugging and teaching a student very, very easy. Once the lab session is over, you can click on this and you can either delete or you can click on terminate. This will terminate the access for the student, or if you want, you can entirely terminate the whole lab session. So if you see, with this, you can monitor all the labs that students have created, all the services they have been using, how much time they have spent, which region they are working. You can do various types of analytics and assessment of the student. You can also see which student is working on what project. So this was a basic demo. You can create different types of lab based on experience, like beginners, intermediate, advanced. Also, we have service-based lab like EC2, RES, S3 buckets, or you can also have it role-based like solution architect, analyst, account manager. We also provide the lab manual, and lab instruction. So you can bring your own lab manual, or we can help you provide the lab manual and pre-configured account with all the services. So this was a basic demonstration about the AWS lab. Similarly, we have lab on data labs, artificial intelligence lab, and code lab. So if you liked any of this lab and it can be useful for your academy or university or a student or company, you can please reach out to us on this email or our WhatsApp number. I hope this was a wonderful demo. You liked it. Please reach out to us if we can help. Thank you so much.